What's up, everyone? You're tuned in to the channel EEPS episode 164, November 16th. Again, it's been a while. I got to get back into the whole YouTube channel thing. I've just been, well, not lazy. All I can say it has been a very productive October. How should I begin? Well, as some of you know, I have just completed the Library and Archives Canada's Creator in Residence program, which was an 8 month um, residency endeavor experience. And I can successfully say that I nailed it. Like it was a it was an overwhelmingly successful residence experience. So much so that I created three digital art pieces. One of them was exhibited at the Canada Pavilion at Osaka Expo in October, just before it closed, just before Expo 2025 Osaka completed. Long story short, like I don't it's I guess it's a combination between my relationships that I built in Japan. Of course, I was on the Team Canada trade mission to Japan back in 2023, and as I mentioned in my previous episode, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a creative entrepreneur, and I go back to Asia. I follow up, build the relationship, keep your connections, and over time, I continue to do my digital artwork, and I got to know the embassy people, the Canadian embassy folks, and we just keep in touch of what I do, and they know what I'm doing. And serendipitously, it wasn't planned at all. And I was like, okay, here's this piece. I think it could uh, play a role with the theme of the Canada Pavilion, which is about regeneration, sustainability, inclusivity. And this generative art piece uses Canadian census data. So if you go to my website, eepmon.com, you'll see the work. If you go to the Government of Canada's website, Library Archives Canada Creator in Residence, you'll also see more info about this particular piece. And it's just like they saw it. The Global Affairs Canada folks, they saw it, and they were like, I didn't expect. I here it is. I don't know. Like first of all, there wasn't much time left for the expo. Because expo was literally ending October 14th. We literally had like 3.5 weeks, maybe at most a month, and they saw it, and they absolutely, to my surprise, because you just don't know what happens. Maybe they might not think much of it, no, but they absolutely loved it. They loved it. I was like, okay, the connection was made, and between Library Archives Canada and Global Affairs Canada, they were communicating to coordinate. And honestly, dude, I booked without whether or not they got confirmation. I just booked my ticket. I booked my ticket to Japan. I went to Japan early, like early October, just in time to be there at the pavilion for the photo shoot for the launch of my piece. Even though there's a percentage, or there's a chance of maybe it may not fall through, um, or it may fall through the cracks, but I was pretty confident. And in order to facilitate the uh, the progression of just having it all there, I'm like, I'm gonna pay my own. This is out of my own expense, because this is far more important than, am I gonna get? Are they gonna pay or fund my trip? It is a non-issue. It is, for me. It's non-negotiable. I'm like, this. I have to go. It is worth every single penny. So I went there, and everything was good to go. Literally was, preparing my files and working as I was on the plane headed to Osaka, Japan. I was only in Japan for 1 week. I was there early October, like 1 week. It's just boom, boom, right? It was insane. I stayed in Tokyo and did took the bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka. Fortunately, I have good friends who I stayed for 1 week, so the expense for hotel was covered by my friends because I crashed at their place. But I just needed to happen, and we did it, and I'm just so grateful that all the pieces fell into place, and we got the photos, we got the PR, and that's magic right there, folks. I'm saying all this stuff because I'm telling you, the serendipity, the everything that I'm looking back in the past, like, sometimes I ask myself, why do I keep on going back? What's the point? This and that. But this is really about what entrepreneurship is about. It's like you have to go back. You have to build the relationships, build the rapport, continue your work, diversify your reach to new audiences, and the the experience of that residency uh, proves what innovation is about, what can be done through our collaborative efforts, and that in itself is the innovation. What I'm really excited about is that what I did was witnessed by the entire Library Archives Canada. Like, they all had a front row seat of this exciting, momentous, historic occasion. And I'm just so glad that I could share that excitement with them and with Global Affairs Canada. Uh, it was so that was so I'm just talking about that residency, that amount, that event. And then once I came back to Ottawa on the 13th, and then immediately on, I think it was the 15th or 16th, I did my final residency conclusion, final project showcase. So one event after another, and that was a huge success too. Um, but yeah, like, so, but what's interesting, like, I could go on and talk about. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to split my episodes about my October experience. I'll just talk about my Osaka experience right now. I don't want to get too far ahead with my other things. But I would say, especially in this day and age, what I observed is that we live in a increasingly uh, volatile world. There's in a sense, you can see it as a good way, a good thing, or as a bad thing, or positive or negative aspects to everything, right? But in a volatile world, in a world that you're engaged in with digital tools increasingly, um, I really feel that it's important to, as creators, as artists, to diversify. You absolutely have to diversify your portfolio, your skill set, and honestly um, get uncomfortable, embrace the uncertainty, embrace the unknowns, learn a new thing, learn a new tool that can amplify, embellish, even augment or pivot your core creative practice. And what I just explained and just talked about my experience going to Japan was the accumulation of my experiences, my knowledge, my risk tolerance, my work ethic, my discipline, you know, um, encouraging collaboration, and the output. Everyone wins. Everyone wins. It was. I'll be upfront. It was historic. History was made that month during my time. Actually, the whole residency was historic. Okay, it was an incredible experience. I learned a lot. We all learned a lot together. It was a journey. I'm more, how do I say, more, the journey was was the whole point. The fulfillment was about the journey, not about how many artworks I created, what's the end result. It's just really that entire spectrum of the 8 month journey. And made new friends along the way, built new relationships. And as an artist too, I grew. Like I learned some new skill sets, new disciplines, um, and in the way I engage in work, you know, uh, it's been a tremendous and transformative experience for me. And that's because, of course, I got uncomfortable. I embraced the uncertainty. And I think that if one, in order to, I keep on saying this, but that's how I think in this day and age one can thrive in this increasingly volatile world, in a world where there's uncertainty, but instead of hiding and running away from it, you have to embrace it and face it full front. Um, so yeah, that's just my thoughts about that. You can go to my website, https://eepmon.com. Check out the works I've created. My Instagram's at eepmon. Like and subscribe. I just want to, like, I can't do a whole dial dump of my entire month of October. Otherwise, it's gonna go at least 2 hours. So I'm gonna have to split this. But I thought that to just talk about my experience. It was literally a last minute thing. I'm like, you know what? If I don't go to Japan for this once in a life, like this literally a once in a lifetime experience, I would be shooting myself in the foot. I'd be stupid. I'd be completely stupid not to do this. And for what? Oh, because it's gonna cost me, like, I don't know, $2,000. You gotta zoom out. I tell myself, zoom out, look at the big picture, and when you come back, you tell me, was that $2,000 worth it? Like, so it was quite something. So yeah. Anyway, I keep on saying so. I think the age of entrepreneurship is upon us, um, and I think that I hope that what I talked about gives you some ideas of how you can engage in your creative endeavors. It's all about pivoting, folks. It's all about pivoting. Anyway, like and subscribe. I hope you like what I have to say. Again, I'm trying to get back to this groove of, like, the channel eeps. So yeah, thank you very much. Until next time, bye bye.